Good morning, my dear students. Today's topic is unemployment. What is unemployment? Unemployment occurs when a person who is actively searching for employment is unable to find work. Economists define an unemployed person as one who is not able to get employment of even 1 hour in half a day. Simply, unemployment means lack of jobs, even for those who are able and willing to work at the prevailing wage. There are different types of unemployment prevailing in India. First one is disguised unemployment. Disguised unemployment or hidden unemployment is a kind of unemployment where some people seem to be employed but are actually not. When more people are engaged in some activity than the number of persons required for that, this is called disguised unemployment. For example, an agricultural field requires 3 laborers, but people engaged in this activity is 6. Then, this unemployment for 3 laborers is called disguised unemployment. Next, seasonal unemployment. This is also a common form of unemployment prevailing in India. Seasonal unemployment refers to a situation where a number of persons are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. Example, agriculture is a seasonal activity. There is an increased demand for labor at the time of sowing, harvesting, weeding, and threshing. In between, there is little or no demand for labor. Agricultural labor finds himself unemployed during this period. This is called seasonal unemployment. Frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment occurs when a worker moves from one job to another. It is a result of imperfect information in the labor market. Because if job seekers knew that they would be employed for a particular job vacancy, almost no time would be lost in getting a new job, eliminating this form of unemployment. Scholars say that in India, people cannot remain completely unemployed for very long because their desperate economic condition would not allow them to be so. They are forced to accept jobs that nobody else would do, unpleasant or even dangerous jobs in unclean or unhealthy surroundings. What are the different sources of data on unemployment? There are three sources of data on unemployment. Reports of Census of India, National Sample Survey Organization's report of employment and unemployment situation, Directorate General of Employment and Training data of registration with employment exchanges. The government and employment generation. The central and state governments takes many initiatives and generate employment to facilitate a decent living for low-income families through various measures. For example, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act 2005 that we study in the previous chapter promises 100 days of guaranteed wage employment to all rural households who volunteer to do unskilled manual work. This scheme has been implemented by the government to generate employment for those who are in need of jobs in rural areas. Direct and indirect generation of employment opportunities by the government. Since independence, the union and state governments have played an important role in generating employment or creating opportunities for employment generation. Their efforts can be broadly categorized into two, direct and indirect. Direct generation of employment opportunities by the government. The government employs people in various departments for administrative purposes. It also runs industries, hotels, transport companies, etc., and hence provides employment directly to workers. For example, dam construction work is a direct way of employment generation by the government. Indirect generation of employment opportunities by the government. When the output of goods and services from government enterprises increases, then private enterprises which receive raw materials from government enterprises will also raise their output and hence increase the number of employment opportunities in the economy. For example, when a government owned steel company increases its output, it will result in direct increase in employment in that government company. Simultaneously, private companies which purchase steel from it will also increase their output and thus employment. This is the indirect generation of employment opportunities by the government initiatives in the economy. Employment generation programs initiated by the government. A rural employment generation program, Prime Minister's Rozgar Yojana, Swarna Jayanti Shahari Rozgar Yojana. These are some important employment generation programs initiated by the government that we studied in the previous chapter. All these programs aim at providing not only employment but also services in areas such as primary health, primary education, rural drinking water, nutrition, assistance for people to buy income and employment generating assets, construction of houses and sanitation, assistance for constructing houses, development of wasteland, etc. Thank you.